If you've clicked on this video because you're wanting to know if your twin flame has spiritually awakened just as you are and at the same time as you did, the short answer to that is a yes. And I'm going to tell you why, but before we get into it, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, I'm Breann, a Master Certified Ascension Coach with Twin Flames Universe. I've been in Harmonious Twin Flame Union and married to my twin flame for a little over 5 years now. And if you are a reoccurring viewer, well, then you've been watching my journey from the beginning. And that's a little bit about me, but let's go ahead and dive into the juiciness of the topic. And that is, yes, your twin flame is awakened just as you are. And how do I know that you're awakened? Well, why did you click on this video? You must have an inkling that you have a twin flame. Maybe you're already on your twin flame journey and you're looking up twin flame information, and maybe my video popped up, and so you've either met your twin flame or you know that your twin flame, you're calling them in. And yes, we all have a twin flame. And yes, if you're awake and aware, they are too. And I'm going to tell you why I know that to be true. And that was the case in my experience. And it's been the case in every other twin flame pair that I've talked to. When them and their twin flame come together, it was true that their twin flame counterpart, whether it be the divine feminine or the divine masculine, was just as awake. And the way that that was true for me is that I awakened to the twin flame journey. It was back in 2016, 2017. And the way that that happened for me was I started seeing a lot of number synchronicities like 888, 1111, 101. Just these numbers were catching my eyes, and there was a lot of synchronistic events that were happening, just things that they weren't coincidences. You couldn't make them up. And I had this massive Kundalini spiritual awakening, and for about like there was a time period in there where I knew that I had to do healing, right? I found Twin Flames Universe, and I started focusing on doing the mirror work with the mirror exercise and studying the teachings of union. And throughout that time, I was slowly attracting my true twin flame. And when my true twin flame and I, Adam, come into harmonious union, all of these questions that everyone asks, especially this one, which is a spiritual awakening, we started to talk about this, and I was like, okay, so I had my awakening around this time. What were you doing at this time? And my twin flame was having the same experience, but in his own way. And the way that that looked for him was that he had a catalyst. I had a false twin flame, and my twin flame had what they call karmic catalyst. It was just someone that come into his life to awaken him. And when he had his awakening, he just seen everything as so beautiful and divine. It was like seeing life in a whole new way. It's not really something that you can describe. It's just something that you can experience. And if you've had your spiritual awakening, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But then on the other side of that spiritual awakening, it's almost like you get dropped. Like you're on this high, and then you fall back down. And the reason that happens is because it's a taste of what you're supposed to be living in, that high vibration. And then you're kind of like dropped back down to your current state of being, which is a lower vibration. And the purpose of that is so that you can start upheaving and releasing everything that's out of just the lower vibrations. And those come in the form of traumas, childhood wounds, upsets, triggers, anger, feeling alone, abandonment, things of that nature. And so when I was awakening, my twin flame was awakening too, and he was experiencing running through the forest barefoot and just feeling like life just felt visceral and very different. Although it was the same, there was an inner experience that was happening, which is that spiritual awakening. And moving on from that is that I was moving through, when the ball dropped, so to speak, I was releasing codependency with a previous soulmate that I was with, and I just had to upheave that codependency. And my twin flame was also releasing codependency, but it was in a different relationship. It was in a different way. And so you can see how we both spiritually awakened, and we were not even talking to each other. Adam was in Norway, I was in Arkansas. We were in not in contact, like didn't know anything about each other, but we were focused on the spiritual awakening that we were having. And now that's not the same for everyone. Some people, you'll meet your true twin flame and you'll have that awakening, but still yet it's always going to look different for both parties. And so it looked different for me than it did for Adam, but the same inner experience was happening. And so we were moving through codependency, fears of abandonment, and we were moving through those things at the exact same time, because when we come together, we compared timelines, and lo and behold, it was a different outer experience, but it was the exact same core upset that was keeping us separate from one another. And this is how you know that even if you know who your twin flame is and you're not currently in contact, or you're not in communication with them, and you're wondering, are they awakened? Yes, they are. But because they're not doing the same thing that you're doing, or they're not reacting in the same way that you are, or they're not responding in the way that you think they should be responding and acting and reciprocating the feelings, it does not mean that they're not awake. It just means that they're having their own inner experience, and they're also going through that, you get that high, and then you get that very low, and that brings up a lot of uncomfortable feelings. And so they're processing their feelings too. And as you heal, they're healing, just like I described with my twin flame and I. Anything that we were healing, we were doing it at the exact same time. And even us being together in physical harmonious union, it's funny because we're always healing through the same thing still. Sorry, I can't talk. I'll wake up and I'll be moving through a block, and like later in the day, my twin flame, oh man, I'm moving through that, and I'll be like, yeah, I've been moving through that today too. But it's just the feelings are maybe slightly different, or it's being triggered in a little bit of a different way, but it's the same core upset. And regardless of where you're at on your journey, your twin flame is your perfect counterpart, and they are walking alongside you. So please don't look to your external reality and say, well, I'm doing this, and this, and they're over there doing that, so they must not be awakened because they're not doing what I think that they should be doing, or they're not reciprocating the love that I feel in my heart in the way that I feel that they should. That does not mean that they're not awake. It's just, although you're twin flames and you're perfect divine counterparts, you're also unique individuals, and you're having individual experiences, and those experiences are leading you together, which is what we're all here for, right? Harmonious twin flame union. So I hope that this video allows you to relax and know that your union is safe, and your twin flame is just awake as you are. And just like me, you're going to come to a point in your journey when you and your twin flame are together, and you get to do this fun stuff such as compare notes. You can compare timelines of like, hey, back in this time I was moving through this, like what was going on in your life? What was your experience? And you're always going to find there was a perfect I cannot talk. There was a perfect synchronicity there, and that you were healing through the exact same thing together, because it is a very divine journey and divine in nature, and it's perfect. It's perfect for you, and it's perfect for them. There was one other thing that I wanted to add here, but it slipped my mind. I guess kind of like my words are slipping from my, but hey, it keeps it entertaining, right? Like a little bit of stuttering here and there. That's just me being me. I think it's because I have a lot to say and a lot that I want to get out in this video, pack it in. And so all of my words try to come out at once. But I can't remember the last thing that I wanted to share, but maybe I've already covered it in this video. But it's safe for you to relax. Your twin flame, they're awake just like you are. Your journey's safe. You just want to focus on your healing. Focus on, releasing those lower vibrational energies, because that's what's keeping you and your twin flame separate. And so you just want to focus and make that a priority and ensure your joy and your happiness, and you'll find that you end up together in a beautiful, harmonious relationship, which you deserve. So thank you again for watching, and don't forget to hit that like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.